Telly there champs, hope you're all doing well. Now in this video we're going to see if a mega PC laptop can beat the MacBook Pro 16, which is one of the best content creation machines out there. Let's find out. Now why is this a mega PC? Well, when they sent out this Gigabyte AORUS 17YA, I reviewed like the last 17-inch AORUS and yeah, that thing was a beast, but this has gone up a level. Like, this thing is absolutely crazy. First thing is, it come in a big box, and I'm wondering, I know it's a 17-inch, but that's a friggin' enormous box. Why is it so big? Not only big, it was heavy too. So I open it up, and then I see, oh my god, 2 330-watt power bricks. What the? Yeah, we're in for party time when that happens. So right there, right then, I knew this was not going to be any normal 17-inch laptop. But it's not that big. It's not like as big as, say, an Alienware Area 51. It's more the size of what a traditional 17-inch was always like. The bigger, thicker 17 inches that we've had for years. That's how big this is, except it's got 2 power supplies. And it is a monster. We're talking i9, 8-core, 9980HK. So it is a mobile part. It's not a desktop part. I think that's the way to go because these things can ramp up anyway. Also has 32 gigs RAM and an RTX 2080 200 watt version. So, they're not messing about with this thing. This is a mega PC and this is about as powerful as they get without getting into the ones with full desktop parts. And, when you get a 200 watt RTX 2080, it's not that far from a desktop anyway. So when I have a quick look at it, and yeah, it's got everything I want. Thunderbolt 3, it's got all the ports, audio in, audio out. Oh, it's just everything you want for gaming, but I'm going to concentrate on content creation and see how fast a mega PC compares to the MacBook Pro 16. When you have a look at this, it's matte black, which is the only black I really like, and it looks to me like a Lamborghini Aventador or sort of like a fighter jet, sort of got that sort of aesthetic. It's got, RGB lighting, some strip lighting and stuff. It looks cool. Now this one here comes with a full HD 240Hz display and it is 100% sRGB. So it hasn't got the widest color gamut, but it is accurate. Like, it is Pantone certified. It is color accurate. So you're going to have no problems with your color work. It would have been nice if they had like a 4K option too with a wider color gamut. But what you see is what you get on this display. You're not going to be editing stuff and then it's going to look weird on another display. So it looks cool. It's got all the ports. It's got the super power. Then I had a little play of the keyboard. Have a listen to that. It's a mechanical keyboard. Oh my god. It has Omron switches and I love mechanical keyboards, and this thing, yeah. Oh my god, it's so good. It also has high-res audio, so a decent sound system as well. Then I ran Cinebench and woof, have a look at this. It was pumping 130 watts into that CPU, and yeah, alright. There is some noise with that because I put it in the gaming mode. I wanted to put it on its maximum performance and I didn't even undervolt or anything, and it barely got over 85 degrees, if at all, and it pumped out a 4100 in Cinebench, and it was just like 130 watts the whole way, like 4.1, 4.2. It's just wow. This thing is going to be a beast. So let's see how it compares to the 16-inch MacBook Pro, which is one of the best content creation machines out there. Let's see how this Windows mega laptop compares. Alright, so let's get stuck into it. Is this AORUS 17 the content creation king? Well, if we have a look at its color gamut of the display, yeah, it's just over 300 nits. And yes, it is color accurate and pretty much 100% sRGB. Now this is a portable desktop replacement. Make no mistake, this has the power of a friggin' desktop, okay? So factor that in. So you're probably going to use an external, maybe 4K monitor with this as well. But you can still get it done on this 240Hz display. It is good and color accurate, although I would like it to be a little bit more brighter. So let's see how much of a content creation beast this laptop actually is. And as you can see here, that is a good score for Photoshop. Okay, that's like, that's chart topper. Now this is the latest Puget Systems benchmark. Of course, when you're comparing it to the MacBook Pro 16, you got to remember, it's a 96 watt package versus this AORUS that uses 2 330 watt power supplies. Yeah, all right, there's a big difference in power there, but as you'll see, because Adobe Suite is optimized for the Macs, they need to do more optimizations for PCs. It's closer than you think, but of course, the Mega Beast here is going to win, but let's see how close it is. So this is the AORUS 17, so 825 versus 783. So yeah, all right, there are big differences, but it's not like, 50% faster or whatever. It's pretty close, but if you look deeper into the scores, you'll be able to see, and I will put all the AORUS scores on the left. You can see here, if we dig into it, the AORUS, look at that GPU score compared to the MacBook Pro on the right. Yeah, big difference in GPU score. General score, very close. Filter score, very close. And photo merge score, well, yeah, you can see the beast, the AORUS, is killing it there. But overall score, it's not, 783 versus 825 on the AORUS. You would expect it to be more, but undoubtedly the AORUS is the content creation king for Photoshop, and it is the chart topper. I don't think I've seen a higher score with this new benchmark. That's a friggin' high score, and to beat the Macs that are, optimized, yeah, that's real. Now also did check it for DPC latency, and you'll see that it stays in the yellow all the time. So it's one of the best laptops, Windows laptops, for DPC latency, so that's really good. Now let's get into Spec View Perf, which is a 3D benchmark that tests, all sorts of things, 3D Studio Max, Maya, SolidWorks, all these sort of things. And I did use the studio drivers with the AORUS. Now the MacBook Pro that's on the right actually uses, pro drivers. So it does have the advantage of using professional drivers, although the studio drivers, they are optimized a little bit. They're not as good as the Quadro drivers, but they're pretty optimized for most content creation applications. And you can see here, now you can see the real power of the RTX 2080, 200 watts. I mean, if you have a look at 3D Max, it's like over double. We go down the bottom to SolidWorks. Actually, it shows you how good the Radeon is with SolidWorks. It's pretty much as good as the RTX 2080, and that's down to drivers. That's the bottom one there, SolidWorks, if you look down there. But all other things, you can see that, the RTX 2080 200 watt in the AORUS is just killing it. It's like, yeah, the scores, some of them are closer than others, but most of them, it just absolutely kills the RX 5500. But yeah, it's 200 watts. What do you expect? I mean, the Mac is total 96 watts. So again, the highest scores I've seen with this 3D benchmark are on this AORUS here, so it's killing it. Now let's get into After Effects, another Puget Systems benchmark, and these are all based on sort of real world projects, so it is real world, well, as close as you can get to real world with a benchmark. And as you can see here on the left, the AORUS is killing it again, 900 versus 759. Actually, the MacBook Pro 16 is doing well here. They've actually updated After Effects where it actually uses the GPU for preview where it never used to, so it's actually pretty good in some circumstances, especially tracking at the bottom there. We have punch in and close here. You can see the AORUS on the left where it's killing it is, render score and preview score. That's just the GPU and the raw power of the GPU there. And tracking, I assume that's using the CPU, so they're very similar there. And I'll just give you a closer look here at the individual benchmarks, and you can, pause the screen and have a look there. But yeah, of course, the beast here, the AORUS, is killing it again. So if we go to Lightroom Export, and this is exporting 75 raw files to JPEG from Lightroom, and you'll see that, chart topper again here, it is the fastest. I mean, when you can pump 130 watts into the CPU, man, it is a beast. And this is basically a CPU test, because if you export from Lightroom, it basically, caps out the CPU and just pushes it as much as it can. So yeah, you can see there, it is killing it. Although the XPS 15 and the MacBook Pro, it's only like, 8 seconds more. So that's pretty good in that way. Now let's get into the Premiere Pro benchmark. This isn't the latest Premiere Pro one, but I've got data for this, so I'm using this one. I'm going to update soon. But anyway, you can see there the AORUS on the left. Again, it is the winner, as you would expect with the beast specs this has. So this is a content creation beast. MacBook Pro holds its own. I mean, 97 watt package. You can't complain with that. I mean, 506 versus 563 on the AORUS. And yeah, where the AORUS is winning is this sort of export score there. That will probably be the GPU. And the playback as well, that's probably GPU effects. So this test does GPU effects, CPU effects, 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second. We've got H.265, H.264, ProRes, Red Raw footage. It does everything. So this is comprehensive. The AORUS, beast, but come on, that Mac, you can see how much they've optimized the Adobe suite for Mac. It's just, yeah, come on, get some PC love there. Now, of course, I've done all this on the maximum performance mode on the AORUS. I've set everything to maximum, didn't undervolt or anything like that. Stock that way, but everything was on max. And we'll get to my famous render test, and you can see here that when it comes to rendering, because you do not have Intel HD with this AORUS, I don't know why it's not there, just how it's configured or whatever. I went into the BIOS, I thought I could enable it, but you can't. The only GPU option is the RX 2080. You do not have Intel HD, and Intel HD makes a big difference for hardware encoding. So here, HE, you can't hardware encode with this AORUS because it doesn't have the Intel GPU. But if you have a look at the right software encoding, you can see there that it's the fastest PC that I've tested so far. And interestingly, the MacBook Pro, we're talking the i7, so 2 less cores, is the same as the AORUS here. That again is, of course, the optimizations that Adobe have done, or, you know, really Apple have done, because Adobe are now just using Metal. So these PC guys, they've got to get together and they've got to go to the Adobe and kick them in the plums and say, come on, let's get some things optimized for these, you know, studio drivers. We've got so much performance in these PCs, but they're not utilizing it all with Adobe here. Anyway, again, the AORUS 17 chart topper for PCs, and yeah, it is awesome. So overall, this is a content creation beast. The amount of power you have with this AORUS 17 is just unbelievable. It is portable. It's a portable desktop when you think about it. The power it has, yes, you have to bring the 2 power bricks with it, but yeah, you know, it's better than carrying around a PC with you, that's for sure, because you get your own display as well. It is a great content creation beast. Of course, I would like a 4K option and like a wide color gamut option with the display, but if you're using it as a desktop replacement, I'm sure you probably will have an external monitor with this anyway. So content creation beast, it's topping the charts there, so you can't beat that. And also what I take out of this is, you know, it really punches well above its weight, this MacBook Pro. It just, yeah, it performs very well for the low powered package it is. But if you want beast mode, the AORUS 17 is proper beast. So I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Tally ho.